guys, I'm Christina.
I'm Mandy.
And we are
Gals on Games.
So today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things, horror. And specifically, things that are going to get you in the spirit for Halloween.
Everybody loves Halloween that I can think of.
Yeah, most of our friends do.
And mostly us.
Yeah.
We love
We're
Halloween.
obsessed.
There's always those traditions that everybody has to get them into the spirit.
Yeah, for sure.
They can be movies, books, video games, going to certain stores, listening to certain music that gets them into that Halloween spirit.
For sure. So we broke it down into our favorites to get you ready for Halloween.
So one of the things I love doing to get me into the spirit is watching Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Some people think it's a Halloween movie, some people feel it's a Christmas movie. I feel that it's both.
I agree.
And I watch them at both times of year.
I agree.
But I still kind of feel it is a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Even though it is based kind of on Christmas, like the concept of it is more Halloween.
Yeah. And I think like This Is Halloween solidifies the fact that it is a Halloween movie because they have the song in it, right? So it like works out to be a Halloween movie.
Exactly. And I definitely have that as a ringtone during this time of year. I do. I really like it.
Yeah.
It's such a good
It is.
song to have.
Get you in the mood for Halloween. I have a tradition where I watch it every November because it falls right in the middle of Halloween and Christmas. So that there's like a lull in the middle of Halloween and Christmas in November. That's the time. That's a perfect time to watch it. For me, one of my favorites to watch, Evil Dead, the movie, the original. Now, I know you're not a fan of horror. What makes this movie perfect for Halloween is it's one of those movies that started off as an indie film with an indie director at the time, and he didn't think it was going to go anywhere, and it developed to be this like cult following. They have a musical on it now. They have video games, so right?
The musical is amazing.
So it spawned this whole like generation of cult followers.
I'm not big on horror movies, but I can say this for a fact. I absolutely love Evil Dead, Army of Darkness.
Yes.
It is one of my favorite kind of horror genre movies. I think because it's more of a comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I definitely is one of my to-watch list too.
Yeah.
Another really great movie that I love to watch during this time of year would be Goosebumps.
Oh my god, yes.
The TV show for one.
Yeah.
I remember growing up watching it, and it's like that dog with the eyes always creeped me out in the beginning. But the movies that came out are actually fairly good as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I remember some of those Goosebumps episodes were terrifying as kids to watch.
Oh yeah.
There's one where like the mask got stuck to that girl's face and she became like this demon thing. Like I remember that. It was freaky.
I was super, super lucky. I was trying to follow in the field of special effects while I was in school, and I got the opportunity to work with the special effects creator for Goosebumps.
That's awesome.
So he had a whole showroom with all the props and things from the original show.
That's so good.
It was like the most amazing thing because that show was shot here in Toronto. So like that is an amazing Canadian horror genre show that was out.
Another one of my favorite movies to watch, Interview with the Vampire.
Oh.
So good. This one's a little bit for the ladies, I must say. I know a lot of guys who do like this movie. And though it's not like costumey, Halloween-y, and like super gory, the whole theme of vampires falls into play here. Vampires being big during Halloween. It's very dark, very morbid, gothic, and there's a lot of hot actors.
Oh.
Yeah, that was like Brad Pitt at his finest, Tom Cruise at his finest, Antonio Banderas at his finest. Oh yeah.
It was lovely. A really good movie that I like to watch during this time of year as well is our favorite, Beetlejuice.
Oh my god, every year.
Every year I have to watch Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It's just one of those classic movies that makes Halloween.
Yeah, I agree. The actor in it, like Michael Keaton did such a good job. It was funny and scary and quirky and like dark. It was fun.
So good. Absolutely loved it.
We're probably gonna watch that when we carve our pumpkins.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Let's do that. Another one of my favorite horror movies of all time, including the original and the remake, Halloween. You gotta have Halloween on Halloween. It's perfect. Now, the remake was amazing. Rob Zombie did such a good job with it. I'm a huge fan of Rob Zombie in general, so I appreciate anything he does. The movie was great, and the original is great too.
Nothing like a slasher film to really get you in the mood for Halloween.
It's true, and it's the best one.
Again, I'll never watch it.
Yeah.
I know what it is, but I won't watch it. Going on the movies, not so horror-esque.
Okay.
Going all the way over to the other side of Halloween, Hocus Pocus.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course.
Nothing like the absolute classic of Hocus Pocus. Mm-hmm. And for years and years and years, they've been saying they're going to be making a second one.
They've hinted at it so much.
And it will hopefully come eventually. But, like, they did such a good job. I love all the characters. The bus scene is probably, like, the best scene there is when the three of them are trying to get on the bus. But, like, hands down, one of my favorite Halloween movies.
Continuing on our list of movies here, one of my other top favorite horror movies, Saw. Now, I know that there's like 12 or 13 or a million of them. I'm talking Saw 1 happens to be the best one in my opinion and my favorite. Also, the scariest, one of the scariest I've ever seen. It's so realistic and terrifying to think that it could be you in that situation, and what would you do if it was you?
I can't handle that kind of horror. So it's like, for me, I'll watch like Halloween Town. Okay? Like, Halloween Town, it might be a kid's movie, but
oh, it's still good.
It is adorable.
Yep.
About witches and warlocks and zombie-esque guys, and I'd rather watch that than some scary horror movie anytime.
I mean, those still put you in the mood for Halloween.
100%.
So going on the opposite end of yours is now a show that came out on Netflix, Haunting of Hill House. This is season 1. Season 2 is going to be a different concept and different story. Season 1, for a TV series to have the quality of a full movie production, every episode is really, really hard. And every episode felt like its own horror movie. It is
That's cool.
Terrifying.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't watch that.
It's like about basically like ghosts who live in this house, but it's not like any other ghost movie or show you've ever watched. It's so psychological. Every episode leaves you at the end of your seat. The ending was crazy. It was scary. There's so many things where if you're not paying attention to the background, you're not really noticing what's happening. Like, all of a sudden the character will come on screen, talk about something, and it'll be like a really quick flash of something in the background, like a ghost head. And like, if you don't see it, you missed it. You know what I mean? Like, and
it's nice to see that Netflix is doing such a good job on all these kind of films.
Yeah.
Especially making that really good quality.
Yeah.
So again, I don't like horror, but I do like action.
Mm-hmm.
And things I like to do to get me into the mood for Halloween would be watching some old school Mortal Kombat and playing the games.
Yeah.
You know, they're horror-esque-ish. You know, they're gory, they're fun. You know, I absolutely adore Scorpion. He's one of my top favorite Mortal Kombat characters. I thought he was awesome in the movies. I think he's amazing in the games. So that's something I play most of the year. But I think I play a little bit more of the game Halloween. During this time of year, just because it's like, oh yeah, I can really get into this right now. Like,
let me like rip your heart out and break your spine.
Exactly.
That's exactly. Good. Continuing on the trend of video games, one of my favorites, Resident Evil.
Awesome.
Such a good zombie game, classic. One of the first zombie games that really kind of continued and started the series, escalated the series, and the series is still going on strong to this day. So, congratulations, Resident Evil, Capcom, you did something right there.
Yeah, I don't really play the games. I have played some of one or two of them, but not really.
I think I played, like, more of them now that I'm older and more of a fan of horror. I went back and played a lot of them, like, in a row to kind of
catch up.
catch up to everything that I've missed in my youth, my past.
Then kind of leading away from
Video games.
and back into maybe a little bit of movies. I know it's not even close to anything to do with Halloween, but I do like Blade.
Oh, yeah.
The Blade series is such a good series. I absolutely love Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
He plays that role so very well.
He does.
Like, he will always be Blade. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what he does, he will be Blade.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something I do like to watch during this time of year as
Yeah.
well.
He was like one of the first Marvel movies to come out, and it's dark for a Marvel movie.
It was good. I liked
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna bounce back off of that movie, and I'm gonna say The Craft.
Oh, I love that.
That's a classic movie too, for Halloween for sure. I mean, I do watch it a lot through the year, but for Halloween I have to. Just the girls in it are great. The story behind it, the witches, their friendship, the craziness that happens. Like, it's just such a good movie. Yeah.
It is a really good movie with the witches and stuff. And I'm going to play off of her movie, Lost Boys.
Yes! Oh
Lost
my
Boys
god.
is like the vampire movie of vampire movies. If you have not watched Lost Boys, I feel bad for you. You need to go watch it.
Yeah. Pure 80s, like, 80s gold.
Absolutely, like, portraying vampires so well. And the way it's set in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's just, it's done so well.
They were all like punk rockers too,
Oh,
which was awesome.
It was so
Yeah.
awesome. It was so good. And they're very good looking, and the story's really good.
Yeah. They are very good looking.
There's,
Damn.
yes.
Damn. Ah. So now I'm going to swing back the other end, and I'm going to go more into video games. One of my favorite video games of all time, Silent Hill 2.
Awesome.
Yeah. Silent Hill has a way of messing with your mind that you won't be able to sleep afterwards if you beat the game. It really gets into your mind. It's very psychological. And number 2 perfected it. It's terrifying. The story, if you guys are into it and you play it, you understand what I'm talking about. It's like really mind screwy for sure.
One movie that I almost forgot and I absolutely love, and I will quote it to this day,
Okay.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, that's a good one.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
You do say that.
I see it all the time. I love that movie.
It's good. That's a good one.
Love it.
Yeah.
And I just recently saw, I can't remember what store it was,
Michael's?
but was it Michael's?
Yeah.
They have the inflatable things for your lawn, for
Yep.
your house, and it's the plant. I'm like, that is awesome. I want that.
Yep. They have mini ones too at the one by my house.
Those are adorable. I would totally have one of those on my lawn.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a good
such
movie.
a good movie.
And it's fun because it's like nostalgic, it's a musical, it's horror, it's cult following, like it's a good movie.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's so good.
I love it. That was a good one.
I know, and I almost forgot about it. I was like, oh, I always say that quote too.
Me
Always.
too.
I
good.
like that movie.
Okay, I'm gonna play back to another movie, not as lighthearted as that one, a little bit more serious. Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors. Yeah.
I was forced to watch that movie.
Were you with us when we did the marathon
No,
at Sarah's house?
no, Vanessa made me watch the movie.
So we had a marathon at a friend's house years and years and years ago. Thank you. Shout out to Brian for making us stay up for 9-10 hours to watch it. We watched all of them up until Freddy vs. Jason, which I barely remember because I think I fell asleep through half of it. We watched all of them, which I think there's like 10, 11, something like that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
I don't remember the
definitely
number.
a marathon and a half.
Yeah. So Dream Warriors to me is the best one. It's the scariest one. The deaths in it were the best deaths of any of the Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy literally rocks so much in this one.
Like, I hate horror movies, and I wanted to be with the cool kids. And they're like, oh, let's watch a movie. And they put on this movie, and I think I didn't sleep for like 3 days.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I mean, over time the series got really funny and it's comical. Freddy's funny, I get it. But yeah.
So going on more of the unrealistic side, one show I really like to watch during this time of year is Hellsing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite animes. I do love horror animes. giving the sense I don't like regular horrors. I do like the anime versions of horrors. Very gory, very dark. I absolutely love Alucard. Just everything he can do is amazing. And it's something I love to watch during this time of year.
And now I'm going to bounce back with the same concept of a show and one of my favorite horror shows, Tales from the Crypt.
I actually liked that show.
Right.
I did.
They had the live action and they had the cartoon, both phenomenal,
Very
both really scary. As kids, when you grow up watching that, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was very good. And the Crypt Keeper was totally creepy, especially in the live action one.
Oh my gosh.
He's just like, hi.
I went to Niagara Falls recently. We went through the wax museum and they had a horror section and they had him in. I was not expecting that, and I turned the corner. I was like, ah! Like it actually freaked me out.
He's so creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was awesome.
It was the same idea of Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps with kind of stories and storybook aspects of like episodes.
Do you remember that. Freaky Stories?
Yes.
With the maggot and the cockroach.
Oh my god, there's so many good Halloween ones.
Oh, this is so good. So good.
So we also have a couple honorable mentions, still kind of Halloween-y, still in the spooky vibe, but not necessarily a full-on Halloween experience. But you can still play and watch these things just to get in the mood.
Some of the movies and games that I really wanted to talk about, but didn't make our top list, would have to be Luigi's Mansion.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Queen of the Damned.
God movie.
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yes.
Zombieland.
I love that.
And The Covenant.
Oh, that's a good one.
Really like
Kind of like The
So
Craft,
hot.
right?
Yeah.
That's good. Some of my honorable mentions that didn't make my list, but still are good for Halloween. Corpse Bride.
Oh yes.
So good. Cabin in the Woods. Great movie. Stranger Things. Awesome show. You want to get your
Very
kids into Halloween? That's a good one. Or kids into horror? That's a good one.
Netflix did such a good
Yeah,
job.
they
Such
did.
a good job.
And then classic, you have to watch during this time, Scary Movie. Even though it's funny, it is still like making fun of horror movies, so it kind of goes with the theme of everything. It's good.
I like the second one with aliens. Oh look,
Oh,
his
yes.
IOP.
Yes. Oh, it's funny.
I guess we're not so different after all. Thank you for watching our Fang-tastic video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share.
Here's hoping you guys have a great Halloween, and make sure you creep it real.
See ya.
Bye. Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.